It's that time of the year when smartphone brands are launching their new devices under the 20,000 segment left, right and center. Very recently, the Redmi Note 12 series debuted in India. Oppo has also launched their Oppo A78 5G. Samsung has launched a bunch of smartphones and more will be coming very soon. But you know what? The focus of all these smartphones is on 5G. Now, 5G, fast internet connectivity is important, but as Indian customers, we do care a lot about the cameras. And for today's video, I have the Redmi Note 12 5G and the Oppo A78 5G. Now, if you are planning to buy a new smartphone in this price segment, and if these two smartphones are on your list, well, we have done the review, but for today's video, I'll be checking out their cameras. Without any delay, you're watching Fiber, I'm Abhig. Let's get started. As I mentioned that we have already done the review, my colleague Imam has also done a very thorough video on the Redmi Note 12 5G, but you know what? I've also done a review of the Oppo A78 5G for the India Today Tech website. You can watch all of that, you can read all of that after watching this video. Now, let's start with the basics. First is the pricing. The Redmi Note 12 5G comes in two variants. The price starts at roughly rupees 18,000. The Oppo A78 5G comes in only one variant and its price starts at roughly rupees around 19,000. Now, the Oppo A78 has only two cameras. The Oppo has ditched ultra-wide camera. I don't know why. At least the Redmi Note 12 5G has an ultra-wide camera, which is good, but obviously we'll be talking about it more in details. But you know what? I've also taken a lot of photos in different lighting conditions, of course, and I thought, why don't you be the judge of it, whether the cameras are good at all, how do they fare against each other? So let's see the first photo. Starting with the first photo, both Oppo and Redmi offer good depth and nice focus, but the saturation level on the Redmi Note 12 is a bit high. Similarly, in this photo, Oppo is offering more natural look, while Redmi photo has more saturation, but it is more pleasing to the eye. And you know what? I noticed this consistency across these sets of photos. But I took all these photos without the HDR mode on, and once you enable that setting, the differences are quite stark. I mean, just look at this. Oppo's HDR is more subtle and balanced, while Redmi's highly boosted, resulting in an overexposed yellow and green tones. And at the back, you can see this unnatural blue, which I don't like at all. Overall, I like the Oppo phone's photo much better. But you know, for this video, I also got the chance to get my own photos clicked just to test the sensors, and you know, these were the results. Like here, the photo with the Oppo phone is overexposed, and this photo with the Redmi phone is overexposed. So you can notice that inconsistency across both the photos. But on the other hand, portrait images were fine, but Redmi Note's images were a bit high on saturation and contrast. It may look more pleasing to the eye, but it's up to you. Of course, I also shot video with the primary camera, and you know what? The results were more or less identical, but that doesn't mean that it's a good thing. As you can see in this video, stabilization on both phones is very poor, though I feel Oppo did a relatively better job. But again, the colors were fine, more or less similar on both the smartphones, but I wish Oppo and Redmi phones had better stabilization. So to sum it up, when I clicked the photos with the primary 48 megapixel camera on the Redmi Note 12 5G and the primary 50 megapixel camera on the Oppo A78, results were more or less similar. They were identical in some cases, but also they were inconsistent. So what happens is that there's obviously room for improvement, and as we go higher to the price ladder, brands improve these features, and that's what the bargain that we have to make. But I also clicked photos with both the smartphones in low light conditions, and the results were just bad. I mean, both phones under low light settings just fail. I mean, these are bad photos. I don't want to talk too much about them, but just take a quick look at these images. ठीक है, primary camera तो हो गया, and you know what? Redmi phone also has an ultra wide sensor, as I mentioned earlier. The photos were fine, but you be the results. I don't like them too much. These are grainy, they're noisy, and the colors were also not very good. But you look at them and let me know in the comments. Coming to the last part, which is the selfie cameras. Now, when I click photos with the selfie camera, things got very different. See, under good light conditions, the Redmi Note 12 5G and the Oppo A78 5Gs take good selfies, but Oppo offers more clarity. Under low light, photos are just bad again. But Oppo appears to be doing a much better job, but again, it's just bad. And I also made a video with the selfie camera, and again, video is shaky and the processing is average, and colors are more or less natural, but again, they're not very good. See, now it is clear that both Redmi and Oppo A78 5G, they offer more or less similar performance, and you know what, the performance is more or less average. But sometimes you don't have a choice. The budget is 20,000, these are phones that have launched so far. More phones will be launching again, but till then, if you are desperate and you have to buy a new smartphone and these are the only options you have, you just saw the camera performance. Therefore, to sum it up, if you like natural photos, I think Oppo will be your good companion. And if you like photos with high saturation and a bit more pleasing to the eye without too much editing, the Redmi phone will be your better companion. But you let me know what you think. You put in the comment which camera you like better, which phone do you think is better and offers better value for money. If you have any other doubts, you can put that in the comment as well. I'm Abhek, you're watching Fiber, and do remember, it's Fiber with double I. I will be seeing you very soon.